Yeah, Salakia, the recording has stopped. Like I was saying in Ezekiel the 7th chapter, it tells you that their silver and their gold shall be removed and that it won't be able to save them in the time of the Lord's vengeance. So this is an omen of things to come, that things are already bad, but they're progressively getting worse. And the fact that these people have trusted in their riches and their money and their wealth and being comfortable in America, Babylon the Great, it's all going to fail them, because ultimately this place was not meant to be permanent. This was a temporary blessing for Esau. But now that Esau is on the way out, his kingdom is rapidly falling and degenerating. So by default, everybody that's attached to this system that has their heart here, they're also going to mourn. Let's continue.
Memories gone. I'm going to get a check from the state, probably far from the value of my lockbox, my safe deposit box. It's all history, and I'm very upset. This happened to me. It could happen to you. I hope it never happens, but you should take proper action, proper precautions.
Banks don't actually have all of your money just sitting in a vault somewhere, you know? I mean, that's fractional reserve banking. They lend out most of what you deposit, and when everyone tries to access their money at the same time, this simply isn't enough. That Bank of America outage, that shakes trust, and once that trust is gone, it's really hard to get it back. And it's not just everyday people noticing this. If you look at what's happening behind the scenes with the Federal Reserve, I mean, it gets even more concerning.
There's a video going viral about the banks and their liquidity, and out of the thousands of comments that are in there, I saw like 3 that actually know what's going on. You guys have got to go and do some real research. Go and look up what the Federal Reserve actually is. Go and look up the gold standard. See what happened in 1971. Our dollar is fiat. There is zero backing it. It is worthless. The banks are going to fall. The system will collapse. It's happening right now, and if you don't understand, I don't know what to tell you. Go and do your research. You've got to be prepared.
Yeah, the system is collapsing right before your very eyes. Why do you think these companies are laying off? Why do you think people's bank accounts are being closed out? Why do you think people can't access their money? Why do you think there's such a large dumping off of U.S. treasuries overseas? Because there's a crash that's happening, a silent crash. And only the economists really know, and those that are paying attention to the markets and things of that nature. But these financial analysts and things, they've been coming out. Richard Wolff, Gerald Celente, they've been telling you that we're in the midst of a crash. All right? The stock market is in fluctuation. Things are not looking good, man. And the fact that this is happening now should tell you that something big is on the way. What's on the way is that they ready to go lights out. They ready to perform a cyber attack on the grid. It's going to knock everything out, including the banks. They showed you that in the show 0 Day, which is on Netflix. All right, go and watch that if you haven't. That's basically what they're going to do. But yeah, we're definitely in the midst of a collapse. You know, the collapse of Babylon the Great, this whole society, and the fact that everything is pretty much going to hell is an indicator of that. See, we're in a recession, approaching a depression.
Renew your heart and your mind, because things are coming that are going to shock you. So you have got to be prepared. Stop listening to mainstream media. Go do your own research. And when you understand what the Federal Reserve is, go do your research. I can't tell you. You have to go look it up for yourself, because that is the only way you're going to get it. Stop listening to me.
And see, this is ultimately the Lord. This is all from Yahweh Basham Yahushua, because the prophets have been telling you to repent, prepare in the spirit for what's coming. Come out of this world. Remove your mind from this place. And you also have now, because the scriptures say that the Lord, he will pour out his spirit upon all flesh in the last days. So this is yet but another witness to pretty much back up the prophets, that what is written of in the testimony of the law and the prophets, the scriptures, that they're faithful and true. because the same very thing she's saying, all right, the men of the Lord, the prophets, starting with the elders and apostles, have been saying this for decades. And we're in that time now where, as it says in Habakkuk 2 and 3, the vision is yet for an appointed time. This is the appointed time now for these visions to come forth and for the end to come. So even if you don't want to listen to us, you have worldly witnesses that are telling you the same very thing that we've been seeing. Call Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shai. Let's continue.
Stream videos and these people that don't know what they're talking about. Go look it up for yourself. Things are coming and it's going to be rough for a time, and you need to make sure you are prepared. Okay, I don't mean to yell at you, but go research. Have a good day.
Massive, explosive news that happened overnight that the mainstream media is not talking about, and for good reason, because they don't want to cause a run on the banks. And I'm going to tell you about it because I think everyone needs to know about this. So last night, Halloween night, in the middle of the night, the Federal Reserve injected billions of dollars into the banking system. They conducted the biggest repo operation since 2020 in COVID, injecting $29.4 billion.
Violence are just fucking make-believe. They don't have that.
Simply because commercial property, as I've stated over and over again, is sinking and now has caused serious distress amongst the regional banks. Remember, it's the regional banks that are the ones lending the money on commercial property, and the defaults, late payments, and now repossessions are simply too much for some of these banks to cope with. The Fed has recognized this, the US Treasury is aware of this, and decides to pump in $29 billion. However, this already started some time back when I stated back in July, under quantitative easing or under stealth quantitative easing, which is unofficial, non-media publicized quantitative easing. There was 43 billion just shipped into the system clearly in July, and yet the mainstream media is not even talking about it. Why is that? Because they don't want to panic the public. So money printing is going to continue, and it's going to go into the trillions, mainly because some of the regional banks are in trouble, and also the economy itself is simply too slow. And the Fed has recognized that, and it knows that there has to be money printing, there's got to be refinance of the banks, and a lowering of the interest rates, which will...
Yeah, they're pumping all this money, which has no value, into the economy. Things ain't moving like how it was 10, 15 years ago. You know, people out of work, businesses are laying off or just closing down altogether. There's not as much, shipping that's coming into America. You see, people are not investing like that because, again, the businesses, they're not booming like how they used to. So there's really nothing to invest in. People's portfolios now, they'll tell you, is going down. All right, so what do the government do? They print all this money, like how, this guy just told you that they're going to print money like there's no tomorrow, into the trillions. And what's that going to do to the economy? When you have too much supply of something but not enough demand, because, again, overseas, these other nations, they're dumping U.S. treasuries. They're dumping U.S. bonds. Because America, or the U.S. dollar, is currently the world reserve currency. So if you have other nations around the world just start dumping U.S. bonds and treasuries, well, that means that nobody overseas is using the dollar like they used to. So that means that all the dollars that were in circulation overseas, it's all going to come back home. And when you have an economic crisis to where the job market is down, the housing market is about to crash, the AI bubble is about to pop, all the signs are there. So all these dollars are about to come back home. There's going to be no demand for the dollar like that. So it's going to be an oversaturation in the market. And from that, there's going to be a collapse. All right, plain and simple. And then they're going to pull the plug and reset the whole system. You got to see what's going on here, man. Like, these devils are setting it up.
Apply to the US, Canada, Australia, and to the UK.
This is bad. This is really, really bad. I keep advising people to take their money out of the banks, and that makes the problem so much worse. It's bad. It's very bad. Mutual aid will save us. I don't know what else will. Like, at least during the...
All right, so, you can watch the rest of that video on your own time. The point has been made. But I want to get to this article right here real quick before we close out. Right, check this out. Scottsdale gig worker says quick Gig Pro payment glitch drained her bank account. And again, this is a common phenomenon now, especially since the start, really since I would say like the summertime, this has been happening, but it's been even more pronounced now since about mid-October. But getting into this, several workers say they've been left scrambling after money was unexpectedly pulled from their bank accounts following a payment glitch with Quick Gig Pro, a popular app that connects temporary workers with same-day job opportunities. The issue began on November 4th when Quick Gig Pro's payment processor Stripe experienced what the company described as an, quote, outage that affected balance displays, payments, and in some cases triggered unauthorized withdrawals from users' bank accounts. For Letitia Baker, a Valley worker who uses the app to pick up extra shifts, the glitch had a devastating effect. So now even gig work, you know what I'm saying? Because, right now the economy is super bad. People's jobs are not paying them a livable wage, or they're not getting the hours that they need to make ends meet. So a lot of people are resorting to gig work, you know what I'm saying? Like after they might get off of a part-time shift, they'll go drive DoorDash, do Uber Eats, you know what I'm saying? Or they'll do some, little small-time gig just to have some extra money. But even these things are drying up as well because even that market now is oversaturated. You know what I'm saying? Gig work is oversaturated, man, because everybody's trying to do it. With as many people not working as they are, everybody's trying to make a quick dollar. All right? But when you have so many people, millions that are pretty much trying to do the same thing, there's too much competition and there's not enough money in it. So, you know what I'm saying? When you put this into the equation now, that even now these apps that people go on to find quick gigs, even these things are now going down. All right? So, look, Yahweh Shai Shai is cold, man. All right? He's pretty much leaving you no avenue to save yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord is really taking this whole system away. And good. These people need to be humble, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a great humbling that's taking place. Anyway, I went out to lunch, tried to pay, and my card was declined, she said. When I checked my account, I saw 2 deductions from Quick, one for $800 and another for over $2,000. Damn. $2,000 now is a lot of money. Okay? That's a lot of money to be losing now. You know what I'm saying? They normally put money into my account, not take it out. Letitia says a total of $2,836.60 was deducted from her account, leaving it in the negative and triggering overdraft fees. And again, this is all from the Lord, man. Okay? The Lord took that money from you. You see? The Lord is, this is why the scriptures say that it's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. See, the Lord is confounding these people every which way. You think that you're going to get a gig job, you're going to make $2,000 and you're going to be good. Nope. The Lord took it away. Just like that. And showing you that this place is vanity, man. Just as soon as you get the money, it can be going just like that. You can't trust in this, man. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures tell you to trust not in uncertain riches, right? So for a couple of days, my account was negative and my bank, being the good bank they are, waived those fees. Quick Gig Pro sent several emails to users acknowledging the problem, citing the outage with Stripe and assuring workers their funds were fully accounted for and secure. But the company has not provided a timeline for when affected users will see their money return. So these people don't even know when they're going to get their money back, which adds to the stress. Because people still got bills, they still got to eat, still got to put gas in their car and do whatever else that they do. So to not know when your money is going to come back, that's just adding to the confusion. And see, This is what's going to cause people to crash out, all right? This is what's going to cause the anarchy and the complete lawlessness that Esau wants to usher in his new system. Baker says she's contacted QuickGig Pro through its support email and phone number, but so far has only received automated responses. Her bank has opened a dispute and told her the investigation could take up to 10 business days. Adding to her frustration, she says her sister, also a quick worker, was targeted by a similar attempted withdrawal for $1,200. Her sister's bank flagged the transaction and stopped it before it went through. See that? So people are out here hurting for real, man. You know what I'm saying? People are out here really being played every which way. You see? But this goes to confirm scripture, man. Let's get Romans 3. All right? Because, you know, so you have a lot of scoffers out there that at one point in time said, America will always be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to build generational wealth. I'm going to have my, set up here and I'm going to be good, right? But check this out. Romans 3 and verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh Bashmi Washai without effect? Yahweh forbid, yeah. Let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So it don't matter if you don't believe. Your unbelief holds no weight. Because at the end of the day, the Lord is in control. See, the Lord controls whether you have money or you're without. The Lord controls whether you eat or not. The Lord controls whether you got a roof over your head or whether you on the streets down and out. Okay, the Lord is the author of life and death. So for you to think that you're going to come up some other way, that you're going to circumvent the judgment of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, because we're in a time of judgment, whether you want to believe that or not. We're in that time, and the article we just read is proof of that. All right? What happened to that woman, that was judgment from Yahweh Bashmi Shai to have her money taken in that way. You see what I'm saying? And she's not the only one. A lot of people are going through that same very thing. But now is the time where these things are coming forth, man. People are being addressed for their wickedness. You see? But the servants, those that are seeking the Lord and serving the Lord, man, hey, the Lord going to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's going to make a way for you in everything. And that's the faith that we have, that no matter what, the Lord is with us, So you see that the world is going down, man, and people are losing their damn minds. All right? Let's get this one. Matthew 6. Right? Because the scriptures tell you to not, store up treasures on this earth. You know what I'm saying? As we're going to read. Matthew 6 and 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. And this government, which is run by Esau, is run by nothing but thieves. Okay? That's why the wages that you work, before you even get to see your money, Esau already got his hands in your pocket. All right, he takes his cut before you even smell your money. You know what I'm saying? That's thievery, man. This man is literally stealing from the people and calling it, oh, this is a tax deduction. Oh, this is Social Security. Oh, this is this is that. When majority of the people that's alive now ain't gonna see no Social Security. You're not seeing a benefit from federal and state taxes being taken out of your check. The roads are horrible. You know what I'm saying? You paying into Medicare and Medicaid, and people don't even have health care. So it's all a complete scam, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything here is just grievousness. Verse 20, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So this is why we're supposed to set our hope and our sights on, heavenly things, man. Kingdom-minded things. To be kingdom-minded. You know what I'm saying? Because who the hell wants to live in a world like this, man? It's so corrupt and so wicked, to where, you can work all your life, you know what I'm saying, and think that you're going to save up some money and have a retirement and you're going to live easy. And then things such as what we went into in this lesson happens to you. It's, all of this is vexation of spirit, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it's the judgment from the Lord. Let's get Ezekiel 7. I quoted it earlier, right? Ezekiel chapter 7. And verse 17. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shall come and slakia, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. So these things are happening to people. People's gold and silver is being removed because of their iniquity. All right, their sin upon sin, their blasphemy. All right, their proud attitude towards Yahweh Bashmel Shai. This is why this is happening. Okay. This is why a lot of people now are going hungry, not receiving food benefits. Farmers are going out of business. And once again, whether the government opens back up or not, the damage has already been done. It's pretty much irreversible at this point. You see? Because whether, if they do come to a conclusion and open it back up, so to speak, it's not going to be long before something else happens to where people are going to be even in a more worse off situation. You see what I'm saying? And so it's only a matter of time, man. Like the Lord is really breaking this place down to the bare molecule. You know what I'm saying? And it's only going to get worse before it gets better. Okay? What scripture was I thinking of? Let's get Matthew 24. No, you know what? Luke. Let's get Luke. Luke 21. Luke 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Yeah, when you go into perplexity, right, we know what it means, but for the sake of edification, it's like, yeah, just give me that word. Perplexity. Come on. It's like, there we go. Okay. Perplexity. Inability to deal with or understand something in an entangled state. Confusion. Complexity. All right. So people are in a state of confusion. They're perplexed. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand what time it is, but they will very soon. The sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Right, then when you get Matthew 24, it tells you about the beginning of sorrows upon the earth, which is the time that we in now. Right, Matthew 24 and 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, which famine is pretty much, it's already here. You know what I'm saying? Like certain places, there's already food rationing going on. Okay, the food banks are running out of food. You know what I'm saying? Food in these supermarkets very soon will be a thing of the past. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever food is left in these markets is going to be so expensive that nobody can afford it. Right? So famine is definitely, you know what I'm saying, on the horizon, about to be very prominent in Babylon the Great in a short time. And pestilences, a lot of disease is coming about, and earthquakes, we're seeing that as well in diverse places, many different places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, you see? So this is, you know what I'm saying, the fact that all these things are happening at the same time, Yahweh Shai is basically telling us that this, like, when you see all these things start to go down, this is how you know that this is the beginning of sorrows upon the earth. All right? So that's the time that we're in right now, man. People mourning, people are hurt. You know what I'm saying? People are searching for answers. People are desperately wanting to be saved. But according to Jeremiah 51, Babylon the Great cannot be healed. This place is only going to go down from here. Okay, it only gets worse from here on out. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying through the Rakah Kedash, call Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kedash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect. Kwam Yasha Allah, Wa Baba. Shalom.
Great Depression, they could like grow their own food. Now we don't even have our own land to grow food. Like, we're fucked. We're fucked.
So the Fed is pumping billions into the banks overnight, and most people don't even know it's happening because the media isn't covering it. I mean, when banks need emergency liquidity like this, they're dangerously low on cash, and using mortgage-backed security as collateral instead of treasuries, that's like pawning your junk instead of your jewelry, because that's all you have left. This is the kind of stuff that happened right before 2008. And while all of this is going on, there's another crisis that's making everything worse.
If you bank with USAA, you might be cooked in the next 6 days, because I've received over 30 DMs today of people who've been telling me that they tried reaching out to USAA to sign up for their government assistance program for the government shutdown, and they were flat out denied. Like, these are people with 730, 750 credit scores who were like, my credit was denied. They would not give me a loan. And to top it off, they pulled a hard credit inquiry, which means you're going to lose like 15 to 20 points on your credit score because of these hard pulls, and they were flat out denied, which means USA will not give them a loan for their next upcoming paycheck, which means if the government does not open up in the next 6 days, that you're not going to get paid and you're going to go without. So hopefully you have a savings plan, and hopefully you have money put aside, because there's a good chance you might not be getting paid. And if you don't, it sucks, because banks such as Navy Federal, Pentagon Federal, and other branches such as FrontWave and whatnot, they're doing things the right way. Yes, you have to sign up, some automatically do it, but USAA is just killing people.
The level of stress and